Hello everyone. In this video we're going to be talking about errors in control geometry in VisualCAD CAM, uh, specifically the open loops found error. So let me just show you what that looks like if you haven't ran across it yet. We got a horizontal roughing operation. We're going to just regenerate it. And you see a message that says open curves and or gaps between curves found. All curves must be closed or endpoint matched. Okay, so let's pick OK. So what we got here for control geometry, let's open that dialog again. So we got these face edges. You see it's in green. I'm just working my way around here. Okay. So they appear to be okay because they're from closed surface edges. So, but we know there's a problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer here. We'll call it curves. Make it the active layer. And we're going to select the setup so that we don't have these edges selected. So let's just see what happens when we put a curve on one of these edges, create a curve using VisualCAD command. So we're going to go over to the curve modeling tab. We're going to use the extract curve from face edge. And let's zoom in here and pick that. Okay, you see that we got some weird stuff going on with that geometry, the face edge on the geometry. Got a weird curve and you see the display flashing. This is a typical error in the geometry when it's imported into VisualCAD CAM. And I'm going to show you how to get around this. So I'm going to just hit escape, get out of that, and let's just do an undo. Okay, so we're going to use a different method for creating the curves on those edges. We're going to use the curve modeling flat area, so it'll create a curve around the boundaries of this flat area. So let's go ahead and use that command. We're just going to select this flat face right here. And we see that curves were created on all the edges. So let's go ahead and hide this again. Let's hide that. Okay, so we got all these curves here. And they look pretty good. There's no wobbly, there's no deviation in the z-axis. But let's get rid of some of these other ones so we don't need all of them. We're just going to get rid of these. I'm going to get rid of these. Let's get rid of these. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Now, the user may want to keep these. We'll leave those in there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to close. We'll just close this pocket area off. We're going to draw a line with the endpoint snap from here to here. And then we'll do the same down here. Okay, so we got those closed off. Let's hit escape to close that command. Now, let's merge these. Actually, we need to explode them first. Let's go explode. And you see some weird things going on here. You see these little squares. That indicates that there's some weird geometry in those areas. So let's just zoom in a little bit. Okay. Let's go ahead and window select those and see if we can't get rid of them. Let's escape out of that. Okay, it was you were allowed to select this. So now we're just going to hit the delete key. So we're just going to go around getting rid of these. And it's probably a very small segment of line that's causing a problem in the toolpath. I'm just going to work our way around. Get rid of those. Okay. Get rid of these two while we're at it. Okay. Okay, so we got rid of all those. So let's go ahead and merge these pocket area into one curve. So we're going to select all that and we're going to pick merge, right click. So we got one curve. Let's do the same thing down here. Merge, right click. Okay, good. So let's turn on the mode again. Go back to the isometric view. And let's redo this toolpath. We'll get rid of those. We're going to select this closed curve, right click, and let's go ahead and generate. Okay, so now we got another error, invalid arguments encountered. I don't believe that's a curve problem, so let's pick OK there. And let's take a look at the toolpath parameters. Okay, so we got the geometry, control geometry, that looks good. Now, a good indicator, when you merge those curves, you should only have one endpoint. So this little square is an endpoint. So you'll remember when we looked at the curves and we saw these little endpoints all around, that's a good indicator that maybe something's wrong because there's a lot of them. So here we have one merge curve and we got one endpoint. That's what you want. So let's look at the tool. Okay, it looks like they're using a ball mill, which is not, would highly not recommended to use a ball mill in horizontal roughing. So let's change this to a flat mill. And let's just generate. Okay, no errors. Okay. Okay, so we got a horizontal roughing toolpath. It calculated, so that's good. So that's a good thing to remember. A lot of times when you see errors, if it has anything to do with open loops, check the your control geometry. Make sure you have curves. If it's a 3-axis operation, the curves have to be connected end to end, and it's a good idea to use the merge command on your curves to make sure that they are merged into one curve. Okay, take care.